Testing 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Triple S podcast. Thank you. It's been a minute. Actually, it's been too long. I've just been busy. Life. A lot of shit going on. A lot of stuff going on. Been busy. As you can see, I've added some more stuff to my background. And, my dog is in here, so if he makes any noise, I apologize. But, which episode? This is episode number 4 of the Triple S podcast. It's been too long, I got that itch. Okay, TV, dang. I got that itch to film a podcast. It's been several weeks. So basically, I had a few weeks where I was able to do one, and I literally just didn't feel like doing it. Like, I would come in here and sit and just be like, man, I'm tired. I do not feel like doing this. But today, I'm just kind of chilling at the house. I needed a day. After a long week, I needed a day to just relax and decompress and collect my thoughts and, chill out. And not have to be social and, what I'm saying, and I think everybody that's healthy, everybody needs time like that. I just kind of hung around the house, took a nap, done some laundry, watched, some TV, just chilling. So, and here I am. I actually, brought a beverage in here with me. I do not have a brand deal with White Castle. But trust me, if I could, I would, okay? I love White Castle, man. That shit never disappoints. I freaking love White Castle, son. What was the name of that movie? Harold and Kumar. In Harold and Kumar or some shit like that, and they fucking get high and go try to get White Castle. I think that's their names. Something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I was like, man, I don't want to put a show or a movie on or whatever that I actually want to watch, because I knew I was going to fall asleep, you know what I'm saying? I always do that. So I'm like, you know what? I've been in the process of watching, like, everything Star Wars, like, everything that they literally have, or, like, all the movies and TV shows in the timeline order that you're supposed to watch them. Not in the timeline order that they came out, but in the actual timeline order of when the events take place. And so I was watching the next movie in my order, and I fell asleep, of course. Which that is Rogue One. I think that's where I'm at. I knew I was gonna fall asleep. I do it every freaking time. I was like, man, during the week I really don't get that good of sleep. And also on the weekends, it's... I'm not gonna say it's rare that I get good sleep on the weekends, but it's like hit or miss. Either I get good sleep or I don't. And I thought about getting a tattoo, like Post Malone. Obviously not on my face though, but a tattoo that says "always tired," because man, I am always tired. It's a real statement. But I don't. The last podcast I filmed, I don't even think I had this game chair, and this game chair is comfortable now. Now I'm sitting back, I'm leaning back, relaxing. This is cool. This is cool right here. And this is just my zone to like chill and relax, and it's good for my mental health. Should say that. And actually, dude, my wife freaking got me these stickers. If you know me, man, I love stickers. I put fucking stickers on everything. But she got me these stickers somehow from work or something. They're freaking cool as shit. This is Krusty O's. Flesh-eating bacteria in every box from fucking The Simpsons. Got a fucking bag, one of them little Hubba Bubba rolled up gums. Man, as a kid, I'd fuck these up, dude. I think every kid did. Classic Coca-Cola can. Can't go wrong with that. Classic Fanta orange can. Can't go wrong with that. Actually, that sounds good right now. I ain't had one of these in so long. Out of a can, bro. That shit probably bussin'. And last but not least, Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I don't even like Flamin' Hot Cheetos, but shit. It's a cool sticker. I gotta figure out where to put these in here. Been working on my gaming setup in here. As far as I'm concerned, it's looking pretty good. Going pretty good. Still want to add some stuff, but it's a work in progress. But honestly, man, there's two main things I want to talk about. Two main things I want to talk about. One, wrestling, okay? Because I don't think I've talked about wrestling enough on this podcast. And there's just been in the last week in the wrestling world has just been crazy. With CM Punk and Randy Orton returning on the same night. I mean, fuck, dude, that's massive. And it's like, if you look at, and I'm just gonna say this one thing, and then I'm gonna get into details about this later, or not really details, but my opinion. If you look at statistically, as far as views, and if you even care about that shit, CM Punk returning got more views than any other return in the history of WWE. And to me, that's freaking insane because that's how big of waves that man makes. Just his name, just his face, like just him being there is massive. And it's like him returning to wrestling when he returned to AEW was fucking crazy. No one ever thought they'd see him back in a ring in general. But him coming back to WWE is even more insane after all the shit that happened back in the day. But I'm gonna get into that later. But the elephant in the room and the thing that I want to talk about right now, because it is currently Friday night. Okay? And tomorrow is Saturday. And actually, it's late at night, and I haven't even checked the football scores to see who won between Washington and Oregon, which they might still be playing because I don't think the game starts till like 8 o'clock. So if it's a crazy game, it's probably still going on. And also, who else played today? I think Liberty and New Mexico State. That was the two games today. I'll have to check the scores. Of course, I don't have my computer in here. But all the conference championship games are this weekend, and that means my team, Alabama, plays the number one ranked, undefeated, two-time defending national champions, Georgia, tomorrow in the SEC championship game. And man, this is the elephant in the room, because if you know me, I like college football. If you know me, and I'm a huge Alabama fan, so it's going to be crazy tomorrow, okay? I think we can win. I'm just going to say that. First of all, I think we can win. I think our team is good enough to win, competitive enough to win. And Georgia, let's just be honest, they had an easy schedule. For an SEC team, somehow they got away with an easy schedule. And you can argue that all you want, but toughest challenges they've had is like Ole Miss and Missouri. Okay. Teams that are good, but not great. Teams that are good, but not national championship or even playoff level teams. So, I think Alabama could win. Georgia's just not as dominant as they've been the last 2 years. They lost too many players, and their team that they have now is just too young. Are they a good team? Of course. Of course. Of course they're a good team. They wouldn't be ranked number one and be undefeated if they weren't a good team. I just think Alabama is a better team. And one tough loss against Texas back in week 2, we didn't even get our shit together till week 4. Okay? Not making excuses. It's just what happened. We are a different team than when we played Texas in week 2. If Alabama and Texas played right now, Alabama's winning 100%. 100%. At the time, our offensive line couldn't block a fucking bumblebee from getting by. Okay? And I think that made Jalen Milroe and the rest of our offense look terrible. And also, that was his first big game as a starter. That's a lot of pressure at Alabama against Texas. Week 2, you're just starting. Like, he's only started one game before that, and it was against Middle Tennessee. So the pressure was on. I mean, he's a young quarterback under that amount of pressure. I mean, come on, dude. He's not going to go out there and play 100% perfect. It's not going to happen. He's going to make mistakes. I mean, just simple as that. And other than that, I mean, we would have won that game. Say, for example, our offense had their shit together and they could block and make plays and score. We would have won. Because our defense is good. Our defense ain't the problem. You know? So, that's just my opinion, and that's what I think. But either way, man, this last year of the 14 playoff before next year we switch to the 12-team playoff, it's fucking insane. And this year is a perfect example of why we need a 12-team playoff in college. Perfect example. Because right now the top 5 teams are undefeated. And then like the next, 4 teams after that only have 1 loss. And all of those 1 losses are to ranked opponents. I mean, come on, bro. So it's a 12-team playoff would be perfect in this scenario this year. But that's not the case. Because if you say you took the top 12 teams right now, man, that playoff would be that would be crazy. And that would also really prove out of them who is the best and who deserves it. You know what I'm saying? If you try and squeeze that into 4, man, that's tough. I'm a huge Alabama fan, and I'm not a conference fan. Do I think SEC is the best conference? Yes, I do, truly and honestly. And I will be, and I'm honest. I will be honest about other teams and about Alabama and about everything. I try to be honest about it. But my opinion, I think SEC is the best conference, hands down. I think they have the toughest schedule, hands down. Even if the majority of the teams ain't as good as they normally are, they're still tough-ass teams, and it's going to be a tough-ass competition no matter what. And I say this all the time. If you took Ohio State and Michigan, because let's be honest, other than playing each other, they don't fucking play nobody. Okay, they play a decent Penn State or a decent Notre Dame, okay. But other than playing each other, their schedule is fucking dog shit. They don't play anybody. More than half of the fucking teams in Big Ten are not even bowl eligible, and you're telling me they have a tougher schedule than Alabama? Let's just be honest. A tougher schedule than any SEC team. Let's just be honest. No, they don't. Like I said, I say this all the time. If you took Ohio State or Michigan or Washington or Oregon and you put them in an SEC schedule, they're coming away with at least 2 to 3 losses. Each team is coming away with at least 2 to 3 losses. You play teams like LSU, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi State, Arkansas, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Missouri. You play all these games back to back to back, and you're on the road, and you're going to these tough-ass stadiums that are not easy to win in. Going to the Swamp is not easy to win in. You know, going to Death Valley is not easy to win in. Going to Tuscaloosa is not easy to win there. And you're on the road and you're playing these tough teams back to back to back. I guarantee each one of them teams I named from like other conferences, they're walking away with at least 2 or 3 losses in the normal season. And next year, Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC, they're going to get a taste of it. They're going to get a taste of it. They may be dominating motherfuckers in their conference. What conference are they in? Big 12 or some shit like that? They may be dominating over there, but I guarantee they walk away with at least 2 or 3 losses after the regular season next year. Guarantee it. And they're good teams. They are. But it's tough competition. Just like Derrick Henry said, the closest thing to the NFL is the SEC. I know that was several years back when he played, but still, I think SEC is the best conference. And people may argue that and say, oh, well, Big Ten this, Big Ten that, bro. The Big Ten is dog trash. Dog shit, man. Other than Michigan and Ohio State don't fucking have nobody. And the only reason Michigan and Ohio State shine so much is because they don't play anybody. And you cannot argue that shit, dude. I could pull up their schedule right now. They don't play anybody. If you think teams like Indiana, Rutgers, fucking Minnesota, whoever else they fucking play, if you think those teams are tough, you're fucking crazy. Just because they're big name schools doesn't mean they're tough competition. SEC is the most consistent, tough team schools that you will play. There's 6 SEC teams in the top 25. I mean, let's just be honest, man. you got 3 in the top 10. So, I mean, it is what it is. That's just my opinion. I'm not an SEC fan. I just simply think the SEC is the best conference. And if it wasn't, I'd say it wasn't. But to me, it just is. With that being said, there is so much controversy right now of who is going to get in these 4 spots, especially with these games tomorrow. And people are like, even if Alabama wins, they are not going to get in. And I'm like, how the fuck does that even make sense? Georgia is undefeated. They're ranked number 1, and they're the 2-time defending national champions. So if you beat them, why the fuck would you not go in the playoffs? That literally doesn't make any sense. A 1-loss team that beat the number 1 team, the undefeated defending national champions, and you tell me they don't go in because they have 1 loss back in week 2? To me, that's the biggest load of shit I've ever heard. And if that happens, that just tells me that the playoff committee just picks whoever the fuck they want. That's what that tells me. Because they always say, the best 4 teams, the best 4 teams. Well, if Alabama beats Georgia, you don't think they're one of the best 4 teams in the country? Well, and all they're going to do is argue, oh, well, Texas beat Alabama. Bitch, that was back in week 2. Look at that Alabama team then compared to now. And tell me what would happen. Their job is to pick the best 4 teams. And I thought about it, and the perfect scenario. This is what Alabama needs. Okay, Alabama needs to beat Georgia, obviously. They need Michigan to beat Iowa. I said it. Yes, they need Michigan to win, and they need Washington to win. Yes. Those three teams need to win. Alabama, Michigan, Washington. Okay, this is the perfect scenario. And then we need Washington. My bad. Oregon to lose to Washington, obviously. We need Texas to lose to Oklahoma State. And what was the other one? Yes. And we need Florida State to lose to Louisville. Okay. If Oregon loses, they're a two-loss team, they're not getting in. Texas loses, two-loss team, they're not getting in. Michigan's probably going to be in regardless, but they're beat Iowa. Obviously, they're in. Washington stays undefeated, they're in. Georgia loses to Alabama, Alabama's in. A one-loss Florida State would not get in over a one-loss Alabama or a one-loss Ohio State. So that's the perfect scenario, and that would cause. If all that happened, Michigan would jump up to number 1, Washington jump up to number 2, Alabama would jump all the way up to number 3, and then I think Georgia would jump down to number 4. Wait a second. Yeah, and Georgia would jump down to number 4, and then Ohio State would be the odd man left out at number 5. They're not conference champions like Alabama, Washington, and Michigan. Well, first of all, they're not undefeated. They lost to Michigan. So I think they would be the odd man left out. And then everybody else has 2 losses, so they're not getting in. There's never been a 2-loss team in the playoffs. So that'd be the perfect scenario. And then first round you'd have Michigan versus Georgia. Second round you'd have first round you'd have Michigan versus Georgia, and then Washington versus Alabama. So I think a one-loss Georgia to Alabama in the SEC championship, and that's their only loss in like 2 years. I think they could, and they're dropping down from number 1. I think they could still snag that number 4 spot. A one-loss Georgia, to me, gets in over a one-loss Ohio State, because at least Georgia made it to the SEC. They made it undefeated through the regular season to the SEC championship game, and then they lost in that game. And it obviously is probably going to be a nail-biter. So I think they get in over a one-loss Ohio State that didn't make it to the conference championship. Ohio State fans ain't going to like that, but if Michigan and Washington go undefeated, they're in. If Alabama beats Georgia and all them other teams lose, they're in. And Georgia will probably snag, even if they lose, they'll probably snag that 4th spot. Because, I mean, come on, they're 2-time defending champions, undefeated in the regular season for 2 years. Or however the fuck long it's been. And, yeah, it just makes sense. I think that's the best case scenario. For Alabama fans, I don't see any other way that they get in. Because pretty much the playoff committee leaving them at 8 the last fucking 4 weeks tells me everything I need to know. That a certain amount of shit has to happen for them to move up. Because they have a one-loss team that beat them above them. A one-loss Oregon and a one-loss Ohio State above them. Oregon don't play nobody. Toughest team they played is Washington, and they lost. So, I think I think Oregon should be number 8. if I had to do the top teams right now, honestly, okay, Georgia, Michigan, Washington, Florida State. Okay, I can leave that. Ohio State, Texas, Alabama. I think Alabama should be above Oregon because Oregon don't play nobody. Straight facts. Oregon don't play nobody. Um, and next year they're moving to what, Big Ten, and they'll have to play Ohio State and Michigan and Iowa and whoever else, probably Penn State, and they'll have to play teams like that more on the regular. They're done for. No more undefeated and 1 loss, 2 loss seasons. I think they're going to walk away with at least 2 or 3 losses every season. Unless for some reason they have a national championship team, but I just think Alabama should be ranked higher than Oregon. I don't know why Oregon would be ranked higher than Alabama. Yeah, oh, their 1 loss to the number 3 team, Michigan. That's it. Okay, dude. Well, guess what? Other than that, they don't fucking play anybody. Put Oregon, put Washington in the SEC schedule. They're getting dog walked. I'm telling you, getting walked like a motherfucking dog. It's facts, bro. You cannot argue that. People love to argue that shit. I say, oh, Alabama don't play nobody either. I like to see your team play LSU, Kentucky, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Arkansas, Auburn, whoever else the fuck we played back to back to back. Get real, dude. Get real. And on the road and shit, bro. Those are tough teams, tough games, even if they're shitty. It's competition. It's the fucking SEC is always going to be like that. How it is. This ain't the Big Ten. You know what I'm saying? Talking my shit, man. But look, and I'm not a SEC team. But I'm honest. Cause fuck, I don't like Georgia. Fuck Georgia. I don't like Ole Miss. Fuck Ole Miss. I don't like Auburn. I don't like Tennessee. I don't like LSU. I don't like Texas A&M. I don't like anybody but Alabama. There's a couple other teams I'm okay with, like Baylor and fucking Colorado, and I don't mind teams like that. There's teams I think are cool, and if I'm not rooting for Alabama for whatever reason, I'm rooting for them. Now, those teams are different stories, but other than that, I don't like anybody. But if they cross Alabama, let's fuck them. I'm just an Alabama fan all the way. I mean, simple as that. But I think that's a perfect scenario for Alabama to get in. Texas losing to Oklahoma State. Oregon losing to Washington. Ohio State don't play, so they'll stay right there. But if we beat Georgia, we'll move above them. Yeah, Florida State losing to Louisville. So Washington and Michigan winning, and obviously we beat Georgia. That's the final 4. 1 Michigan, 2 Washington, 3 Alabama, 4 Georgia. Makes sense to me. Because a 1-loss Florida State ain't got shit on a 1-loss Georgia or a 1-loss Alabama. Or a 1-loss Ohio State, for that matter. Because Ohio State would be 5, they'd be the first team left out. And 6, Florida State. Probably 7, Oregon, 8, Texas. Whoever else. Probably 9, Louisville. 10, Missouri. Yeah, something like that. 11, Oklahoma or some shit. I don't know. But, that's the top 12 if all that happens, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, man, you gotta love college football. I love college football. It's, to me, the best sport to fucking watch, other than wrestling, obviously. It's just so entertaining, and no matter what happens, it's always entertaining. And it's always fun to see that competition, and it's so consistent, if that makes sense. Every year, man, it's good, and it no matter if your team wins or loses, man, it's fun, and you look back on it, and you're like, man, that was fun, and you don't want the football season to be over. You know what I'm saying? It's calls for good times, and uh, it's just a good atmosphere, a good vibe. Who doesn't love college football? I love college football way more than the NFL. I just don't really fuck with the NFL. The only reason I watch the NFL is because I don't watch the NFL for teams. If I had to, root for a team, it'd be the Saints because I've always liked the Saints. But I just watch the NFL for like players that I like. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll watch. Um, there's a couple guys I went to school with that play in the NFL. I'll watch their teams, which is like the Chicago Bears and New York Giants. Just because it's cool. And then obviously I watch the Saints because I claim to be a Saints fan, but it's like I don't really fuck with the NFL that much. So, but if I am, I'll root for the Saints. Um, I like Bryce Young. I like Jalen Hurts. So that kind of, and Devonta Smith. So I kind of like the Eagles. Um, you know, I like Bryce Young, obviously. But poor Bryce Young, man, it ain't him. It's his team, bro. You're 1-10. It's not. If you're 1-10, it's not because of one player. That's because of your whole fucking team. Your team is shit. His offensive line couldn't block. They couldn't block me. I'm 5'2", and they couldn't block me from getting to his ass. So I feel bad for him because he's out there trying his best. He's a good quarterback. He really is. He might be smaller, but he's a good quarterback. And he's a rookie in the NFL. He's gonna make mistakes. And you can go, oh, well, C.J. Stroud's doing way better. Yeah, his team is way better. He's gonna look way better. Under that pressure, the same shit. If he went to Carolina, the same shit be happening to him. He's under so much pressure. Your team is dog shit. You're getting your ass whooped. Your offensive line can't block. You can only do so much. One player can only do so much. And that's what it pisses me off when people talk shit about Bryce. I'm like, it ain't his fault. You put him on a good team that can block for him, give him time to move around in the pocket, make plays. Give him time to run if needed. He can run the ball. He's quick. And he's very calm under pressure. You give him a good team, he can be a good quarterback. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say he's Super Bowl champion ready, but maybe in 5-6 years, I could see that. But I think he's a good quarterback, and I think he'll do good. But I just think he got fucked by pretty much going to the shittiest team in the NFL. So, and it's like, I know a lot of people be like, oh, he's a good college player, but it just ain't gonna convert in the NFL like some people. Like, I don't know. I think nowadays that really don't happen that much anymore. I think now it's more diverse and it's more. I'm not gonna say you have to be more athletic, but it's like there's more levels to it. It's not all kind of cookie cutter guys out there. I mean, look at the guys you got out there: Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, fucking. Even quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, like, bro. Ow. You know how many people said Jalen Hurts wasn't gonna do shit? He's not gonna do shit in the NFL. This ain't college. Blah 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 blah. Everybody says that shit. Look how fucking good Jalen Hurts is doing. Tua. Look at Tua. He ain't the biggest motherfucker. but he's a damn good quarterback. I like Tua. That's another team I watch because I like Tua. Keep up with my Alabama guys. Um, and there he go. But I think it was somebody else I watched too. I like think of it. Um, no, but I feel bad for Bryce on that level, man. I hope this don't fuck up his NFL career because I mean I don't want to don't want to see him you know like nothing. I don't want to see him get put out of the league for any reason or nothing like that. But I'm just saying, like, bro, fucking Mac Jones. Let's just be honest. If quarterbacks like Mac Jones and fucking some of these other shitty quarterbacks can make a good career, he'll be okay. I have faith. But man, roll tide and just my opinion, bro. I mean, you want to argue it, go for it. But I'm not. I don't argue. I just say how I feel, and that's just my opinion. I mean, and at the end of the day, man, if Alabama loses, they lose. But I think they can truly win. I really do. And if I had any doubt in my mind that they couldn't win, I'd be honest and say it. You know what I'm saying? Because if this was the same team that was in week 1, week 2, week 3, when we got more penalties than points, I'd say we don't stand a chance. But fact is, because after week 3 was over, I'm thinking, damn, we gonna lose another tough game. Probably we'll be lucky to win out the rest of the season. We might be fucked this year, but that they turned it around. They got their shit together. They started kicking ass, and now we're a force to be reckoned with. And they changed my mind around because I was at the beginning of the season. I thought we were fucked. Just being honest with you, and like I said, I'm honest. I mean, why would I? At the end of the day, I'm always gonna be an Alabama fan. If we lose every single fucking game, I'm still gonna be an Alabama fan. So I'm not no bandwagon motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So, but I am gonna switch gears here and talk about the other elephant in the room, and that is the return of motherfucking CM motherfucking Punk to WWE. Now it has been rumored for a while. He's coming back. He's coming back. And a large part of me, I'd say probably about 70% of me was like, ain't no fucking way. Unreal. Not even possible, bitch. Because, I mean, just seeing how he was outside of WWE and saying how he ain't coming back and shit, I just honestly thought he wouldn't fucking come back, like, ever. You know, so about 70% of me was like, nah, he ain't gonna come back. But then, like, the other 30% of me was like, man, it's in Chicago. It's being rumored awfully a lot. There's hella WWE superstars dropping hints and shit. I don't know. Because, honestly, they could do shit like that just to fuck with people. Because, like if they think it's funny or something. But clearly they knew, or maybe they just secretly wanted it. I don't fucking know, bro. It's one of them things where it's like you don't know. And that's one good thing about pro wrestling. There's so much shit you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, but it's so many. There's so many speculations and rumors and shit. You know, and it's a lot, but it's like that's one good thing about it. It's like nowadays with the internet and fucking social media and all this shit. One thing that kind of bugs me a little bit is how a wrestling company can't do anything without it getting leaked. Or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Or getting spoiled pretty much, you know? Like, I want that surprise. I want that anticipation of, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, as a wrestling fan, I fucking love that shit. Because it's like, that's why I watch it. You know? Because it's good, it's crazy, it's funny, there's action, it's badass, and you don't know what's going to happen. It's exciting. You know? And when they leak shit and spoil shit, man, that shit pisses me off. CM Punk is coming back. He's spotted in Chicago. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. If he comes back, he comes back. Okay? But I'm gonna be honest with you, they fooled me because I'm watching Survivor Series War Games. All the baby faces just won the match. They're in the ring, celebrating. You know, they just had a big return to with Randy. They fooled me for a second. This is how it went down. Okay, so they're in the ring celebrating. Okay, and they're being over dramatic with their celebration. You know what I'm saying? I know Randy was glad to be back, and that was a huge return. But I'm sitting there thinking, why is this celebration going on so long? Like, it's a little fishy. Like, I had a feeling something was gonna happen, but yet again, I didn't know what was gonna happen. I just had a feeling that something was gonna happen. I was like, man, they're celebrating a minute too long here. You know, and there was a fishy vibe in the air. So, But when then Michael Cole said his last few words, they started zooming the camera out. I'm thinking, okay, it's off. And as soon as they do that, you hear, I'm thinking, holy fucking shit, it's happening. So it was like, yeah, I went through a roller coaster of emotions there, and that's the part of pro wrestling I like. I'm thinking, something's about to happen here. And I'm like, nah, it's done. And then I'm like, holy shit, like literally I went through those emotions just like that. And it takes me back to when I was a kid watching it. It takes me back to all the moments in pro wrestling that I love. And that's why I watch it. And that shit was crazy. I was shocked. I'm literally like sitting there like that. I was fucking shocked, dude. Hell froze over, my friend. It happens. Never say never in the wrestling industry. Never say never. Everybody was like, Edge will never go to AEW. He's too loyal to WWE. I'm thinking, he's literally done everything in WWE. Literally, there's nothing else he can accomplish in WWE. He's at the end of his career. He wants to do what the fuck he wants to do. He wants to wrestle people he hasn't wrestled. Have fun, do as much as he can before he officially retires. I'm thinking, why the fuck wouldn't he go to AEW? To have fun and his best friends over there. He has good friends over there. Christian, his best friend. He's good friends with Chris Jericho. He's good friends with Mark Henry. He's good friends with fucking JR. He's good friends with Paul White. Why the fuck wouldn't he go over there? They're probably saying, yeah, man, come on over here. Have fun. I mean, like he said, he sees his best friend over there having the time of his life. Why not go join him? I don't see nothing wrong with it. Now, do I think, that one day he'll come back to WWE and officially retire? I mean, maybe several years from now? Yeah. I could see that. I mean, I don't think WWE would hold anything against that. Because I could see, eventually, years down the line, I could see, Big Show, Mark Henry, JR. I mean, these are well-known names. Chris Jericho, all come back. Hell, even Christian come back and like officially motherfucking retire. And they obviously they can retire and be like, I'm done over here. But I mean, let's just be honest. WWE is their home. So I mean, and I'm not saying that in any biased way. Like, do I think AEW is on WWE's level? No, but I don't dislike AEW in any way. That's just my opinion. And I could just see, and if it don't happen, it don't. But I'm just saying I could see that happening. Excuse me, I could see that happening. At some point. Hell, I could even see John Moxley coming back at some point. Maybe years on from now, but I mean, because never say never, bro. But CM Punk came back. What the fuck? Let's just be honest. If CM Punk can come back to WWE after this long, literally anything in the wrestling industry can happen. Literally anything. And I gotta pause for a second because I got this. It's views from Mexico from a satellite showing the Earth. Okay? I don't know why Mexico. Because to me it looks like the fucking Earth is spinning. But obviously it's the fucking satellite orbiting the fucking Earth. The satellite is orbiting the Earth, and they fucking sped the fucking camera footage up, and it looks fucking insane. They got some cool shots of the Earth for all you flat earthers. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a conspiracy theorist, and everything could very well be fake. Who am I to say? But and oh yeah, going back to the college football for 1 second. There's this one guy I watch on YouTube. He plays like the NCAA games and shit. I don't even know how to say his name, his YouTube name. Bordeaux. I'm thinking it's Bordeaux. Bordeaux? I think that's it. I'm not sure. But he put every college. There's 126 college teams in the NCAA game. He put all of them in a playoff bracket. Simulated all the games. And you'll never guess who motherfucking won the whole entire fucking thing. First of all, let me say this. Georgia and Alabama got put out early. What kind of shit is that? I'd say the best team that made it pretty fucking far is Ohio State. But the motherfucker who won it all is fucking Clemson. I'm like, really, bro? Clemson? Get the fuck out of here. I don't forgot what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, wrestling. But fucking, bro. Randy Orton coming back, man. CM Punk coming back, it's like a blast from my childhood, man. Fucking Randy Orton is one of my favorite of all time. Let's just say that. Let's put that out there. He's one of my favorite of all time. I grew up watching Randy Orton. I grew up watching CM Punk, so it was like my childhood slapped me in the face, and man, I was loving every second of it. And this, with all these returns and all these good storylines going on and all this good shit going on, I mean, look at the roster we have. Look at the fucking roster we have. I mean, that's why I'm thinking the next 3 pay-per-views is Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania. So I'm like, this is going to be such a fucking good time to watch wrestling, such an exciting time. These next 3 premium live event cards are going to be fucking off the charts. Look at the fucking roster we have. Randy Orton, CM Punk, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, AJ Styles. Did I say CM Punk and Randy Orton? Because CM Punk and Randy Orton. We have Shinsuke Nakamura. We have Ricochet. We have Logan Paul, Rey Mysterio, Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. And bro, guess what? The list goes on and on and on. Gunther, Brock Lesnar. Do you understand me? All these names I'm naming are going to be fighting at Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania. This shit is about to be wild. Fucking wild. I cannot wait for this Royal Rumble. You're telling me all the people I named can be in the Royal Rumble at one time? Obviously, the world champions ain't going to be in it. Seth and Roman. But CM Punk, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. Did I say CM Punk and Randy Orton? Because CM Punk and Randy Orton are going to be in the motherfucking Royal Rumble. I already know it. Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, probably Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, Shinsuke Nakamura, Gunther. Ricochet, whoever else, man. Logan Paul can be in it. Rey Mysterio can be in it. Santos Escobar. L.A. motherfucking night. Yeah. Bro, this shit is about to be wild as fuck. Wild as fuck, bro. I'm so excited. I'm jumping for joy right now on the inside. I am jumping for joy. I am jumping for joy. Oh yeah, buddy. But man, if you don't watch College Football Imperialism on YouTube, that shit's pretty fucking cool. I like Bordeaux's channel because he does. It's like a battle royale. You got 140 NCAA football teams. Pretty much you have all the teams on the map of the United States and where they're at and the territory that they take up, and you put all their names on like a, what's it called, the spinning wheel, and you spin in whatever team it lands on. They have to attack. Then you spin another arrow and it shows what direction they have to attack. You know. So if your territory, if it lands on your school, you look at your territory, you spin the arrow in it, and your arrow is pointing north. Then you point north, and the first territory you touch of another school is the team you have to play. And that team that you have to play is defending their territory against you. So they would be the home field advantage because you're trying to take their land. And if you win, you get their land, and if they win, they get your land. So it's like teams get eliminated, but the teams that win, their territories get bigger. So also it's easier for them to get landed on. But the more territory you have, it's easier for you to get landed on. But at the end of the day, you're trying to take over the whole United States. And he does it until it's one team left. That's pretty fucking cool. It's like hour-long videos, though. It takes a while. But, it's cool, though. I like games. I like fucking football games and shit, so something cool to watch. And it would do, like, tournaments, 126 team playoff in the worst weather conditions available on the game. Negative 20 degrees, snowing. That's cool. You do like how they do the March Madness tournament brackets and shit. They would do that, but with college football teams and shit like that. Just cool shit. What else, man? What else is going on? Oh yeah, I always have random shit happen to me. Like I woke up with a fucking. Like I had a little knot on my foot, on the top of my foot. I didn't think nothing of it for real. I'm just thinking, oh, my shoes, or I don't know. I didn't think nothing of it. I mean, it didn't really hurt or nothing like that. I wake up one morning. I got a knot on the top of my foot the size of a fucking walnut. And it was swelled up, bruised, and I mean, it literally looked like if you slice my skin open, put a walnut in, and sew that bitch back up. Just fucking insane. There's no possible way I could put a shoe on my foot. So I was not able to go to work. I had to go to the fucking urgent care. And she tells me I got a fucking, what's the name of it? What was the name of it? Fuck, I forgot the name of it. Ganglion cyst on my foot. And she's talking about it's really rare on the foot. Normally people get it in their hands and their wrists. I'm thinking, then how in the fuck did I get it on my foot? Like literally I had the most random shit. I literally get the most random shit you can think about, bro. Don't even make sense. I got a fucking ganglion cyst on my foot. I had freaking what's the name of that shit? Cat scratch. I had cat scratch fever when I was little. I had these big knots all over me. I'm like, bro, how in the fuck do I even get this shit? And it's like I always get some shit that I had never even heard of. And then another time I had freaking swimmer's ear. I'm like, oh, motherfucker. And then I had fucking what's that shit called? Fuck, I can't think of the name of it. Come on now. Why can I not think of it? That was the worst shit I ever went through in my life. Epididymitis. I had fucking epididymitis, bro. Which there's a tube that sits behind your testicles. And when it gets infected, that's what epididymitis is. And I literally had that shit, and that was the worst shit I've ever experienced in my life. I wouldn't put that on my worst enemy. That was the worst shit I ever went through. Besides my freaking kidney stone. It's like, I get the most fucking random ass shit ever. Don't even make sense, bro. Oh. Other than this, man, I don't even know what I'm gonna do tonight. Probably just chill, sleep. I wish I had my computer in here so I could check the games that happened tonight and see who won, because we need Washington to win. I just feel like I said my perfect scenario of what should happen for the football playoffs, but it's like, this is college football. You never know what the fuck is going to happen. So, to be honest, nothing I said that needs to happen is probably going to happen. What's probably going to happen is a bunch of crazy shit, and then there's going to be fucking chaos, and then they're going to select the 4 teams that make the playoffs, and at least 2, 3, well, yeah, a lot of fan bases are going to be pissed the fuck off because somebody's getting left out. Because this is college football and it's crazy. They can only put 4 in, so everybody else got to just all the way. Everybody from 5 to 25, and then the rest of the teams that are bowl eligible. Oh well, you just gotta settle for a bowl. You gotta settle for a bowl game. Bro, if we have to settle for a bowl game again, I'll be pissed. Because TCU should not have been in the playoffs last year. Yeah, they were undefeated. Well, no, they actually weren't undefeated. They were undefeated in the regular season, and then they lost to Kansas State in the fucking conference championship game. But somehow they still got in over a 1-loss Alabama, or a 2-loss Alabama. And to me, that's bullshit. 2-loss Alabama with its tough-ass schedule. And mind you, both the games they lost last year was by a total of 5 points. Lost one game by like 2 points. Lost the other game by a fucking field goal. Both, they lost the last minute by like a fucking field goal. Literally. The last 5 seconds of the fucking game in the field goal, they lost. And they were on the road. And it's a tough-ass schedule. And you're telling me a 2-loss Alabama in those conditions doesn't get in over a 1-loss TCU? TCU should not have been there, bro. And that's why they got the absolute dog shit beat out of them by Georgia 65-7 in the fucking national championship game. What a fucking joke. The 4 best teams. Well, bitch, you put 3 of the best teams and 1 motherfucker that shouldn't have been there. You left one of the best teams out, which was Alabama. Because TCU lost to Kansas State And then we played Kansas State in a bowl game and beat the shit out of them. But they beat the people that are in the national championship game, and we just beat the shit out of them. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, committee. I'd like to look at this committee in the face and say, y'all are a bunch of fucking idiots. I would love to do that. I'd love to line them up, go down the line, look each one of them in the face and say, you're an idiot. Move on to the next. You're dumb as shit. Move on to the next one. You are as dumb as a bag of rocks. So on and so forth. But by the time this podcast comes out, all these conference championship games will probably be over. And then it's up to the playoff committee to decide the final rankings and determine who is headed to the playoffs and who is not. So, be ready. So, if you watch this after Saturday, just don't think nothing of it. Just know that these are my thoughts happening Friday night. So, but I enjoyed my podcast. I enjoyed getting the shit off of my chest and talking. We're just past that hour mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping it up here. I'm gonna get off here and actually go look and see who won these, because it's pretty late now. I've been on here for an hour, so go see who won these games between Washington and Oregon, and Liberty and New Mexico State. There's only 2 games on tonight, so we'll see who won these games, because all these conference championship games have huge implements on the rankings. So Tuesday when the rankings come out, I mean, these have huge implements on that, so definitely got to check it out. So I'm gonna get off here and do that. But like always, thanks for watching the Triple S podcast. I hope you enjoyed. If you watched through the whole thing, you're a fucking champion, and I love you. As always, you can follow me on my social media, and also subscribe to my other YouTube channels, which is, well, this is on my personal channel, which is just my name, Seth Stringfellow, and then you can follow my toy hunting channel, which is Fire Passion Toys, and yeah, and I have Instagram and TikTok and all that shit, so follow me on there, and have yourself a blessed day. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and hope everybody is going to have a great Christmas coming up. Hopefully, I will have this podcast out as soon as within a week, hopefully, depending on how shit goes. And hopefully I can upload another before Christmas. I'm going to have 2 up before Christmas. That would be great. That is the goal. I know it's been a minute, but stay tuned. I am not going to stop posting, even if I take, a few weeks off, a month off. I'm in this for the long haul. I'm not stopping. I had to take a break to focus on other things in my life and personal reasons, health reasons, and all kind of other shit. So, God bless everybody, and have a good night. Thank you.